Live from Loudmouth Central, you're listening to Loudmouth Fisticuffs. Hosted by combat sports analyst Joshua Furs and international ring announcer Mr. Live Worldwide Jeff Houston. Half sports show, half comedy show, and half conspiracy show. 100% in your face. So open your ears, shut your mouth, and have a good fucking time.
Boom. There we go, guys. Episode number 3232. Jesus Christ. We are Loudmouth Fisticuffs. I am Joshua Furs. That over there, Mr. Live Worldwide himself, Mr. Jeff Houston. Mr. Jeff, how are we doing today, fresh off of BKFC number 13?
You're talking to me as if there's somebody else in my head. You'd be absolutely correct. So the collective term we would be correct because there are more people, you know, kind of, I guess you could say, walking around this crawl space that I call my mind. So yes, we would be correct. You know, I'm feeling pretty good right now. You ever have one of those epic shits during your day to where you actually hear, like, basically almost like movie soundtracks? I had such an epic shit today that I was hearing the theme from Poltergeist 2. It was so fucking epic. You know, you're passing along something that could be the equivalent to a baby boy, and then you hear God is in his holy temple. God is in his holy temple. Oh, I'm doing good.
I'm going to say that might mean you're partially possessed. I'm not sure. Maybe.
Well, I mean, if we want to say that that was a partially possessed shit, then yes, I would probably think so.
What was it? What was it? Scary Movie when James Wood was a preacher and they were making fun of Exorcist, and he's like, "I must bless this house."
Yeah, his
and
idea
all the flies were fucking flying around. And he's taking a shit.
Well, that's the blessing. Hey, the blessing can come in many forms. The best form is as you get older, you start to really appreciate your bowel movements. As a matter of fact, you're amazed that there's no such thing as National Bowel Movement Day.
Guys, you are in the right place. This is Loudmouth Fisticuffs, regardless of what you think you just heard with Jeff talking about one of his bowel movements. You are in the right place. We had a lot going on this past weekend. Obviously, there was UFC, there was bare knuckle. I think I don't know if you caught it, Jeff. There was a bare knuckle card this past weekend.
The hell you say? The hell you say?
Yeah, it's on the BKTV app. I'll have to give you my referral code so you can sign up. That way we can talk about it. But
a referral code. Thank you so much.
Hey,
how kind you're being to me on episode number 32.
Well, you know, I figure that's the least I can do is save you a little bit of money, being as I'm not able to actually give you any money like from any of the dividends. So at least that way.
I still don't know what you're talking about. I mean, there used to be it was previously said that there was like some bad blood between myself and another individual, but I'm really having trouble connecting the dots on who that person is.
It's one of those other voices in your head that you were just talking about.
No, I don't think so. No, because all of my voices are against you.
No,
all of my voices are against you, so therefore they're on my side. So they wouldn't be talking smack about me. And besides, they're my voices. I can hear them.
Are you sure?
Am I sure that I can hear the voices in my head?
Mm-hmm.
Gee, Well, I don't know. Why don't we go ahead and take a poll from practically everybody on the cast of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? Yes, I think I am in touch with the voices in my head. Thank you very much. You are off your game today, Josh, and I need you to get back on your game.
Hey, I'm always on my game. Always.
Well, keep talking then. Well, what else we got going on?
What's the script say for today?
Script? The one that I
BKFC.
got written on my fucking hand. There is no fucking script.
10 people just left and 10 people just joined. That's all right.
I don't give a fuck. Leave, go. I mean, do what you got to do. I mean, we're doing this whether you fuckers are going to follow us or not.
Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth?
Fucking
Guys, real quick, all jokes aside, we do appreciate you. Smash the like button, smash the share button. The show is just getting going, so we get a little stupid, get a little crazy. If this is your first time joining us, I see it looks like some faces or some ears or wherever you're listening us to, whether you're in the car, whether you're in the shower, you're in bed, I don't know. Wherever you're listening to us, we appreciate you. And please refrain from doing anything weird while you're listening to us, because then that would make me feel weird and make Jeff feel weird, and they would be uncomfortable.
You couldn't make me feel weird in your best day, please. And if you're talking about listening to shit in the shower, I listen to oldies in the shower. I listen to positive old shit in the shower. This morning, man, I was taking a good shower. I started off with a ding dong, a ding a ling a ling, boom bada. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-day. Oh, life could be a dream.
I don't want to hear any story about you taking a shower, Jeff. I don't want to hear about it. If you
would tell me I'm the only one that you'd love, life could be a dream, sweetheart. That gets you started, man. That gets you started in the day. I don't give a fuck what you're listening to in the shower, man. This is sharing time. We are sharing here. Butterfly in the sky. I could go twice as high.
It's Reading Rainbow. You listen to Reading Rainbow?
I listen to it all, man.
Take a look. It's in a book.
We've got quite a few voices up here, and they all like their TV programs. What can I say?
Interesting. Well, let us get to what the people really want, Jeff. And no, it's not about what you did naked in the shower today.
There's my man. There's my man.
Who is it?
What is up, Mr. Scott?
Yes, sir.
Hey. Oh, man, it is always a good day when Scott joins in. How you doing, man? Oh, look at that.
Isn't that nice?
Oh,
that's really nice, Scott.
How nice is that?
That's really nice.
You know what? Why don't you invite him on this show? A hesitation there for a second.
No.
A hesitation there for a second.
Hold on. There is no hesitation on Scott. I'm just surprised to hear you say that. That's all.
Why are you surprised to hear me say that?
You know, the past history and
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No,
I need you to enlighten me a little further on this, sir. Scott Bird has always been a dear friend of mine. I've always kept his best interests in hand, and I'm sure that he's done the same for me. I don't know what you're talking about. I'd love to bring him on. Go ahead and bring him in. Scott and I mean, you're talking about something I'm not exactly sure. I'm kind of scratching my head right here, trying to figure out exactly what it is that you're. Oh, look at that. Oh, man. Well, not as good as your shoes. I got to tell you something, Scott. Right. Your shoes were fantastic.
Am I in the Twilight Zone? Is this the fucking Twilight Zone? What is happening right now?
No, Scott showed up with fantastic shoes this time. I was I wasn't in awe of them, but I will tell you one thing. I was impressed. I was impressed. He came with very classy footwear, and I'm blessed to have him as a friend. I really am.
I need to check my temperature. Hold on. This is
Scott, that need kind of a meltdown. Uh-oh. Not it. There we go. Well, what is it, man?
I don't know what's happening right now.
You need to be a little bit more specific on that. What do you mean that you don't believe what's happening here? You don't know what's happening here. What are we talking about?
You two have been mortal enemies for like the last 2-3 months.
I don't recall that. I don't recall mortal enemies ever crossing my palate. I mean, I would love to start the show, but our very dear friend, Mr. Scott Burt, with his sage advice, decides to come and join us. And look at that. I'm gonna tell you, man, the man is just overflowing with compliments, like he always is. He's, there's never a bad word spoken between us. It's unbelievable.
Well, moving forward.
I was moving forward. You're the one that's kind of wondering what's going on, and all that's going on is we're being joined by a great legendary American.
I mean, I agree with you. It's just weird to hear you say that.
And I am impressed with his shoe game on top of that. Vince, okay, I'm still trying. Right. I once again, rivalry. I'm hearing this word rivalry. I'm trying to trace it back to whatever time that you or Josh have suggested that there has been any kind of a rivalry between me and Scott Burt. I'm really having trouble putting that together.
What?
Oh my God. Oh my God. You know something, Scott? I was actually going to come up. I was going to come up and I was actually going to cover our tickets. But yeah, of course we will, man. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Scott. Always being, oh my God. What do you mean? Houston, don't ruin this for us. I don't know what you're talking about, Vince. No, I'm not high. I'm high on life. But no, I'm not operating on any pharmaceuticals. I'm just really having trouble putting 1 and 2 together on what you guys are thinking is happening between me and Scott Burt. I don't get it.
Okay. I'll bite, Jeff. We'll play along.
There's nothing to play along with. That's why I'm laughing so fucking much, because I'm really trying to contemplate what you're thinking right now, because it's weird. You're thinking that we were at each other's throats at one point, and I don't recall that. I really don't.
Well, be that as it may.
And yes, Scott, I accept your offer. I think that that's extremely generous, but I'll tell you what. Let me at least help you cook the meal. At least a portion of it. I mean, if you're going to go ahead and go to all that expense to bring me and my beautiful wife up to the absolutely charming city of Belfast in your amazing home, the very least that I can do is help you cook a very good Thanksgiving. Even though that I have all the confidence in the world that you and Judy can put together a Cracker Jack Thanksgiving dinner, we still want to help.
Some of my friends have been searching for one of your beautiful hats. You mind sending me an autographed one?
Scott, I'd love to, but unfortunately, this is the only one that I have. But I'll tell you what, I can probably get in touch with a friend of mine who does knockoffs, and I can probably get a couple of knockoffs, and I'd be happy to send you some signed Jeff Houston knockoff Kangles. I know they're not the original, but you know something, with my signature on it, it's got my seal of approval. So, of course, I will. That's so nice, Scott. Thank you so much.
Your seal of approval?
My seal of approval.
I'm going to be sick.
I don't know. Scott, are you getting this? I'm not getting this.
I think we're losing viewers because of this niceness. We're losing viewers.
What, we're actually losing people because 2 people are cordial with one another? Really?
Nobody wants to see this.
Absolutely, man. Do you not remember that most of the 80s was saying please and thank you and being nice to your fellow man? You know something, Scott? I don't think I need to go hat shopping with you. You've got a handle on what's fashionable. I really do. I think you've got a handle on it. I think that, the last time that I saw you with a hat and glasses on, I was almost put to shame. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Josh. I mean, he can't help me but smile, but he's just got this look of bewilderment on his face, and I really don't get it. Maybe you can help me out, Scott. I don't know.
I'm speechless. All right. Well, like I said, let's whatever. Let's move forward.
I have been moving forward. You're
All
the one. You're the one that's stuck in this quote unquote twilight zone, and I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. Well, let's go ahead and move forward. Let's talk about. We had some bare knuckle action going on. Like I said,
sexy. No, sir.
I'll get you
sir. They're. I'm gonna tell you something. I agree that they're good looking, but sexy might be a bit much. But it's still very nice. I mean, you know, I'm hetero, so I mean, even though I'm flattered.
All right. I don't even know where to go.
Could you give me some suit tips? Scott, like I said, I think that you're pretty put together when it comes to your fashion, but yes, of course, I would be happy to lend you a few tips on how to put together a bare knuckle boxing Hall of Fame ensemble. No problem.
We like shopping buddies now? What's going on?
What do you mean now? Like we weren't. Once again, people thinking that we were like enemies or something. I don't remember that. Life is just too short to worry about tiny little eccentricities. I recall something along the lines, people were talking about some kind of a shoe war that was going on. But then again, I really think back to it and I look back over the videos and such, and I saw some, back and forth friendly exchanges, but I don't remember ever being at Scott's throat or him at mine. I really don't. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Scott, thank you so much. I mean, seriously, having you as a friend is a blessing. And you know something, maybe I might even ask you for some shoe advice. Because, you were just so put together at the last one. I actually even might ask you for some shoe advice. So thank you. Thank you, sir. It's always a pleasure. Yes, I did buy you. Yes. I actually took my good friend Scott Burt out to lunch at Olive Garden while we were in Salina. We were very fortunate that there was an Olive Garden literally outside of the parking lot of the hotel that we were staying at. So we had unlimited salad and breadsticks, and I had myself a delicious limoncello iced tea, Long Island limoncello. Yeah. We had a very nice conversation, and it's amazing what you can learn about somebody if you just sit there and listen. I mean, maybe I wasn't listening as much as I should have. Let's do that over some wine, my friend. On me. No. Cocktails. Got to say cocktails, man, because we got to be responsible. So cocktails. What? I'm feeling good. You're the one.
I'm if you feel good, I feel good, Jeff. Let's just move forward. I don't know what this is.
No, Scott. You tried to stir my drink for me. I wouldn't let you do it. I wouldn't let you do it. I mean, it's my drink. You got to let me do my drink. But you know what? I can definitely give you tips on the right cocktails to order at the right time of day, especially where we were. A Long Island limoncello goes a long way when you're doing unlimited soup, salad, and breadsticks. I'm still trying to figure it out. Seriously, man. Well, you got a face that looks like a slap dad.
I'm glad you two buried the hatchet over some Olive Garden.
Wait a minute.
I'm excited for you.
Buried the hatchet? Hatchet. There was never any hatchet that was being thrown. I don't know what you're talking about.
I guess it's true. Olive Garden, their catchphrase is "When you're here, you're family." I guess that's what happened. I'm happy for you.
Do you remember any rivalry?
I'm happy.
A couple of people have actually been saying this, Scott, and I really don't remember it. I really don't remember us having any kind of foul words towards one another. Do you? He'll answer in a minute, but I'm sure he probably has no recollection of the event in question either. None. I don't know what you're talking about. Look, the sky is blue. We just had ourselves a kick-ass time over at BKFC 13 in Salina, Kansas at the Tony's Pizza Event Center. I got to hang out with my very dear friend, Mr. Scott Burt. In fact, we actually rode all the way back from Salina to Wichita. Yeah, exactly. Rivalry. I know. And look, he put 3 question marks. I think when you and I were talking, my equivalent was only like maybe 1 or 2. He's got 3 of them. So he has really no idea what the hell you're talking about. We can go back, but can we go back to y'all talking shit to one another? Vince, you are remembering the past all wrong.
Wait. I'm not sure what's happening. Guys, I think I'm like in a dream state, or everything's flipped upside down. I don't know what's going on. We'll be right back.
Live from Loudmouth Central, you're listening to Loudmouth Fisticuffs, hosted by combat sports analyst Joshua Furs and international ring announcer Mr. Live Worldwide Jeff Houston. Half sports show, half comedy show, and half conspiracy show. 100% in your face. So open your ears, shut your mouth, and have a good fucking time.
Was that really necessary? I mean,
hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Loudmouth Fisticuffs. Episode number 32.
32 started off just fine. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of an issue happening with my friend over here, Josh Furs. He is remembering the past in a very odd way, and I don't know what's happening. I really don't. So he feels that he has to start over the show from scratch again, even though that we're 22 minutes into a fantastic show with a very good friend joining us on comments, Mr. Scott Burt, my very good friend.
Guys, we have a lot to talk to about. We had UFC. We got BKFC number 13 that just happened. We're going to talk about great. Joey Beltran, Marcel Stamps, that whole controversy, and just a lot of great stuff to talk about. Jeff, how you doing today?
You know something? I am doing great. Our good friend Scott Burt is joining in on this. You know, we had a great time in Salina, Kansas, giving each other sage-like advice back and forth, having great lunches. You know, he came out and had sushi with us. You know, it was absolutely great. Yeah, Scott. I mean, yeah, you look at him. You know, can just you and I have a segment, Jeff? Absolutely.
Miss Nikki. Shout out Miss Nikki.
Oh, man, I love Miss Nikki. We got a chance to hang out with her as well. Absolutely. We smoked some good stuff. We had some good drinks. It was a good weekend. 100%. Yes, we can, Scott. Anytime, any place. It can be Mr. Live Worldwide and Mr. World Champion and Mr. Shoe World Champion. That's what it can be. Let's get rid of the dead weight. I agree. He's acting like dead weight right now. He doesn't understand what's going on. So what does he do? He restarts the show. Like a petulant little child. I don't like what's going on, so we're going to get back on topic. I don't understand it, Scott. I really don't get it. See, the thing about it is he's in charge of production. So therefore, if something's not going his way, or if he's thinking he's in some alternate universe, which apparently he thinks right now, he can just go ahead and pull the plug anytime he likes it. Never mind the fact that he's hurting my feelings and hurting your feelings.
So we got Joey Beltran.
No, all right. We can only talk about my dear friend, Mr. Scott Burt, so much. So the best thing to do, you're absolutely right. Let's talk about the fantastic card, BKFC 13, live on BKTV. And yeah. I'm going to try to see about getting a good tagline for BKTV, because obviously we can't say, I want my BKTV, because that's a little bit too on the nose of MTV. So I think I'm going to say, gotta have my BKTV. I love it. See, Scott,
I see what's going on here.
You know, Scott, you're absolutely right.
I don't appreciate it one bit. I don't appreciate it.
Right. You're absolutely right. Scott, I agree. He has. And I know good night, my dear friend. All right. Well, you have yourself a very solid sleep, and I'll do my best to get you those Kangol hats. In fact, I will even do a search to see if I can find some originals, and I'll get them signed for you. Absolutely, my dear friend. Wonderful to have you on the show.
Bye, Scott.
Okay. Now I'm just saying goodbye and giving a dear friend, and now we can move on and talk about BKFC 13, which was amazing as always. We saw a lot of new stars. Right back at you, brother. Right back at you, brother. Absolutely. But no, we saw a lot of potential new stars, and as always, we are seeing the production level of BKFC change for the better each and every show. A lot of people saw the addition of our giant LED walkout screen, which I thought was epic. They said that they had gotten an LED screen. I just didn't expect it to be that ginormous. It was incredible. And they had also added new font styles, new graphic schematics and such, and it just absolutely popped. It looked
amazing.
Well, it looked the BKTV way. Yeah. It looked exactly how it was. And it's funny. I really wish that the preliminary fight had been on the app. I mean, even though everybody got an opportunity to see it on the BKFC YouTube official page, Kendrick Latchman.
It was on the app.
Oh, it was on the app. I wasn't paying attention to the app, so it was on the app.
It was on both. Yeah, it was on both.
Good. Then everybody got an opportunity to see Kendrick Latchman, have a good fight against Michael McDonald. And obviously, as far as outstriking, it's obvious that Kendrick definitely put his foot on the gas. But I don't think that that's the last that we're going to see of Michael McDonald.
Miles McDonald.
Excuse me, Miles.
Michael McDonald is a totally another fighter.
Yes, he is. And that's why I'm going to pull the 180 and apologize for that and say, Miles McDonald, you did a fantastic job.
Yes, you did.
And win, lose, or draw, and you were of amazing spirit afterwards, because most people win, lose, or draw. They aren't amazing spirits after they have an opportunity to represent and fight for BKFC, because they realize how special this really is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, 100%. Kendrick Latchman, oh my God, he looked amazing. And a lot of people, not sure how many people know this too, but Saturday night had the debut of the 125 and 115 pound division. So
certainly did. Our lightest divisions yet.
Yep. And of course, the 115 being Nico and Chansey, which we'll get to that too. But wow, I know it was this was a really good card, an interesting card, and we saw the comeback story of Fred Pierce.
No, this wasn't a comeback. No, this is retooling. A comeback would suggest that there would be some of the same fighter coming. I didn't see the Fred Pierce that I've seen for the past fights.
Agreed.
I saw a completely different fighter. I saw someone do a complete 180 and surprise the hell out of everybody. And not only that, he picked up his first BKFC win over a hometown favorite, a hometown guy that was cocky as fuck. Even though I love John Hollis and I love his nickname, the bus driver. I love that nickname. He was cocky as hell. He was ready to get in there and get his hands dirty. But we saw a much more aggressive and technical Fred Pierce. And a lot of that, I have to believe, is him also changing up his training style, coming down to San Antonio and training with the famous Ramos boxing team. They're very, very well known down here in the San Antonio era. They have bred several world champions, several national champions. Their roster of boxers that have made it on to the big time is very impressive. And he came down here and he learned technical boxing and how to defend himself, and more importantly, how to move. Yeah. And that's what I saw. I saw better head movement. When he had to defend himself, I saw better defense. But also what I saw, he didn't just blindly throw big shots and put his head down. He tucked his chin in, looked ahead, and was very strategical in his shots.
Aimed and fired. Yes, he did.
Like I said, completely different. That's almost like watching your kids grow up.
Yeah,
I was almost in tears. I was so happy for him, man, because I've been a fan of Fred Pierce. He's a nice guy, and he knows how to work a crowd, with his own, but he's being himself. He's absolutely being himself. He's not trying to be anybody else. He is Fred, the bare knuckle cowboy. Dude's a hillbilly and a half, but I love him for it and such. And he gets bare knuckle, and I think he's found his home now that he has improved himself the way that he has. Hats off to you, cowboy. I am so fucking proud of you.
Yeah, 100%, man. He you know what too, and he's a not to say that a lot of people aren't, but Fred is just a genuine, what you see, what you get, is what you get.
He's the real article.
He's
the real article.
He's just a nice guy, and he really is. And I was really happy for him, and it was like you said, it definitely felt like it just felt special, and I was really happy for him, and just hope he continues to make that stride, which it looks like he's on that track to stay in that lane. So
before we go on, I definitely want to give a shout out to the Kansas State Athletic Commission for allowing us to roll out for the first time in bare knuckle history real-time scoring.
Yes,
and boy, I tell you, Josh, I loved it. Talk about convenient. Every table had themselves an iPad or a tablet, and they were able to do everything over the iPad. And not only that, I mean, it's easier for me because all I have to do is just sit my ass there. I don't have to go to the judges. I don't have to go to the timekeeper and everything. Everything is done right there and then in real time. And it also lets everybody know leading up to the final round or whatever round where they stand on points. And you and I had discussed kind of back and forth that maybe there were some fighters that would kind of play it safe, moving forward, because they're like, I'm just going to run because, I'm losing the fight anyway. So, I really don't have to give it my all. No. In other sports, I could see because, everything's different. The pace is different. The idea of the fight pace is completely different in other fights. But in bare knuckle, a couple of things, reason I don't think that'll happen, because number one, they know that the ferocious pace wins fights. And number two, they know what will happen if they lay back in the weeds in front of David Feldman.
They won't be back.
They won't be back.
Nope.
Not a good idea, guys. So for all of the bare knuckle fighters that are looking to fight on Kansas cards while we have real-time scoring moving forward, do not take it easy, even if you're behind. If you're behind in the points, you know what you got to fucking do. You got to knock someone the fuck out and win your goddamn fight, instead of just laying back and, letting him and letting your opponent take you over. What's the point? Oh, there's a big point. All right. There's a huge point. Am I right, Josh?
Yeah. Who runs, who's the one that actually controls and adds the numbers? Just out of sheer curiosity.
Oh, that was, of course, that was the executive director of, God, I swear to God, I always forget.
I was just say, was it like part of the BKFC production, or does the state do that?
No. That's the state authorizes the state authorizes the real-time scoring. So it is the state that has adopted that, but the real-time scoring is implemented within with the production. So therefore, then it shows on that. Now the production runs the graphics for the real-time scoring.
Of course.
But is the production in charge of the real-time scoring? No.
Right.
No, that is 100% in charge of from the Athletic Commission.
Okay. I was just curious how that works. No, it was really interesting, and you know what? And I remember when when Invicta did it, and I was honestly, I completely forgot that they had the open scoring thing in Kansas. And when you guys did it, I was pretty excited. Yeah.
I enjoyed it because it lets the fight fans know what direction the fight is going in.
Yeah.
And not everybody does that. So I love it. It was a welcome change, and I hope more states implement it moving forward. I really do. Next up, we got LJ Hermrecht. taking out Rowdy Akers. I was surprised at that. I really thought that Rowdy was going to get in there and get his hands dirty, and he did for a little bit, but he got a KO 51 seconds in round 1.
Yep.
And that was surprising. I'm not saying that I was 100% surprised, but I had been hearing Rowdy talk, and I had been, observing him over his time since he got here, and I just figured that he was one of those guys who was going to put his foot on the gas and move forward.
Say, Jeff, where are you getting that information from?
Huh?
Where are you getting your information from?
Why? There's only one place to get that information from. A selfless plug by Mr. Joshua Furs. Of course,
Where's
he was going to do that. That would be in the wonderful, wonderful neighborhood of Knucklepedia.
Wow, I'm going to check that out. Knucklepedia, you say?
You know something? The look on your face says it all.
Knucklepedia, you say?
You say? What is this, the 80s?
You're the one that listens to like swooning 50s music in the fucking shower.
Well, you're supposed to listen to swooning 50s music in the shower. You're not supposed to listen to hateful shit in the shower.
You don't want to listen to like death metal in the shower?
I do not want to listen to Norwegian black metal in the shower.
Hey, some of that stuff is pretty good though.
It is pretty good, but when you've got, but when you're exfoliating, I don't think that you want to be fucking jamming out to fucking Norwegian black metal unless you want to take off 6 layers of skin.
I don't want to.
Yeah,
exactly. I don't want to hear about you exfoliating, Jeff. I don't want to hear about it.
Absolutely want to hear about me exfoliating because I'm using the charcoal-based natural stuff that takes about a good layer of skin off and keeps my skin looking rosy gold fresh.
Rosy gold fresh.
Rosy gold motherfucking fresh.
But in all seriousness, yes, guys, please, knucklepedia.com, please go check that out. The only
selfless plug.
Hey, the only dedicated bare knuckle database. Please go check it out. The whole team, we work very, very hard at it to keep it up to date and try to keep it as interesting as possible.
All the levels to it. You remember, there's a lot of red tape in the way. There's a lot of
there is. There's
a lot of different departments apparently that Josh has done that. But now that everything's out in the open and Scott Burt has informed us that Joshua Furs is a thief and a liar about the funds that have been allocated to Mr. Joshua Furs and such. It is. He just called you out. He just called you out, sir.
That's not true.
He said, it says right there, 9:15 p.m. Jeff, he's taken all sponsorship for himself. I know that. I know that. He's the Idi Amin of Loudmouth Fisticuffs. He's making this show his own personal piggy bank.
Listen, he's trying to trap you.
He's never tried to trap me. He has only been on the lookout. He's only been on the lookout for my best interest, and now he has shown me.
Is very smart. He's very clever. He's almost maniacal. Some would say.
I have never come across that. He is the nicest, most simple man that I've ever come across in bare knuckle. He's the salt of the earth.
He's a very smart man. That's Scott Burt. Very intelligent.
No, I just think that you are a two-faced, bastard. But you know what? I can work with a two-faced bastard. You know why? Because I'm here and you're there. So that's fine with me.
No.
Look at your intangible finger. You find this man. You find this man. All right, now moving on. Something very exciting that doesn't always happen in bare knuckle. The fighter who decides to take a fight on less than 24 hours notice comes in and puts on a show.
Yeah.
Mr. Antonio Hernandez picking up the slack against Jack Frericks and getting a unanimous decision with a boxing clinic.
It's amazing.
With a boxing clinic. You always wonder, is that going to happen? Is the last minute guy going to step in? Because statistically speaking, that isn't the case all the time, because that person has not benefited from a full training camp.
Right.
And I said to Ann, he didn't even make the weigh-in because he was still driving in. So he didn't even make the televised weigh-in. Well, was it televised? I'm not sure. It might have been streaming on YouTube. I don't believe it was live. I think it was preempted.
I don't know. I mean, like
I'm pretty sure it was preempted.
they streamed it live, but I don't know if it was live.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not 100% sure, but the point is that he didn't even make it for the weigh-in, and he weighed in at a later time, and here he is picking up a decisive victory over Jack Frericks. And Jack Frericks, a much taller man. You know, he's a big dude. He's about 6'3".
Like you said, like it's one thing when you have the guy last minute that beats the guy on short notice, right? Like, yeah, okay, I've seen it a couple times here and there, but it's very rare.
Not like this, I haven't.
I think what's even more rare, right? And not
what's
like
up,
this.
Mr. Red Rims? How you doing, brother?
Is that, you know, if he would have came in there and caught him with a quick first or second round knockout, got him out of there real quick, and he went.
Wayne Carl, afternoon, ladies. Wow, that's a compliment coming from a man who admittedly wears a kilt.
And the fact that he went the distance on zero camp, went the full 10 minutes,
and it was a decisive victory on top of that too.
I almost dare say that's the most impressive thing you can do last minute is to go in there, win decision, go the full distance, and make it completely decided, you know, completely just again, unanimous. I mean, like, he really did. He went in there and cleaned house. He really did.
He did.
So hats off to him.
More than hats off. Welcome to the family. I'm telling you, he impressed Dave. That's for damn sure.
Good.
He impressed Dave. That's for damn sure. Moving forward on that. Next up, a guy who definitely has the look of the guy, you know. Well, no, I'm sorry. The next up was Isaac Doolittle taking on Boss Hog, Brandon Johnson. I was really wanting to see Boss Hog pick up this one on that because, you know, he had just been so excited about representing the BKFC brand. But it was a majority decision, so, you know, sometimes those can get a little, you know, squeakers. And because of my friend Jeff Houston, we will be at Scott.
That's right.
Wow.
That's right.
Wow.
No, Police Gazette Boxing Corporation and the Police Gazette rankings, the official
worldwide
rankings, worldwide recognized rankings.
As far as bare knuckle fighting, these are the rankings that count.
Yep. And so go check that out. Definitely knucklepedia.com. Scott's he's got a whole video and everything planned for that 9 p.m. So it's gonna be really interesting. I'm excited. I'm excited to see the rankings. Not that I don't know what they are. I don't know what they are. Wait a minute. Or do I? Or don't I? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Come on, I'm wearing the shirt. I gotta have it.
But guys, seriously, in all seriousness, I can't believe I just said that.
Hold on.
Thursday night at 9 p.m. You'll see the link. We'll share it on here, share it on Combat Insider, share it everywhere. Please share the page when it comes out. It's really exciting just to kind of be even remotely associated with all this. So I can't wait. So
you are no
hats off to Mr. Scott Burt. Mr. Brian Maxwell. Yes, sir. Seeing you soon.
That's always a good thing. I always like hearing that, Brian. I always like hearing that. Can I run my suit choice by you, Jeff, for our rankings video? Absolutely. Absolutely. You know me. I am always one to impart knowledge of what I have learned over the years to somebody who really is in touch with today's shoe fashion, like yourself. Hey. If you have a problem with our friendship, then you can take it up with who the fuck cares?
Hey, I don't have a problem.
What's up, Mr. Travis the Animal Thompson?
I don't have a problem.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
Apparently so. You're the one that's in awe of what's taking place.
I don't know what's happening right now. There's something going on.
Nothing. Not a thing. Is that a kangaroo on your hat? Wayne Carl, you have tuned in enough times to know that I am wearing a retro Kangol that was sported mostly by Mr. Michael Jordan, but also in part by
Only
Mr.
Michael
Samuel L.
Jordan.
Jackson.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it was
Michael
not
Jordan.
only, no, Samuel L. Jackson was known for doing it, but as far as its claim to fame, the number one person to push it would definitely be Michael Jordan. Absolutely.
That's right. That is correct.
Why are you saying that's correct? I know that's correct. Nice. There you go. There you go.
Looking
There you
forward
go.
to seeing you fight Friday night. Yeah, Travis.
Travis, you got the main, brother. You're not curtain jerking. You're not in the mid card. You are the toe the line standard. You are the toe the line standard. You are, in my opinion, brother, you are going to be the decision maker, the mover, the shaker, the straw that stirs the motherfucking drink. Scott, I would be happy to. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I have the extreme honor and privilege of announcing the official sponsor of Loudmouth Fisticuffs. And of course, it's the Bare Knuckle Boxing Hall of Fame and its illustrious president, Mr. Scott Burt. We definitely want to thank you for the patronage that we have shown. And once we get this toxic relationship done with Mr. Joshua Furs, he'll be able to relinquish his share of that sponsorship money. And thank you for shedding light on that, because I knew that was the case the whole time and such. But I definitely want to give a shout out to the Bare Knuckle Boxing Hall of Fame. Good people over there, and one of the best historians in the game, my dear friend, Mr. Scott Burt. Thank you, sir. I don't know. I don't know what you're struggling with. I don't know what you're struggling with, but I'd like to move on if I could, please. All right. Isaac Doolittle picking up a majority decision, which meaning that we had one judge that was even across the board. So, okay. I was surprised on that. I was surprised on that one of the judges came back with an even score, because I did have that scored for Doolittle moving forward. And moving forward after that, one of the guys who I think probably has one of the best mugs for bare knuckle, he definitely has the look. That's Kill Bill Diekoff. He defeated Austin Levine very, very easily.
Round one KO, 1 minute 54 seconds.
54 seconds, round one. Very, very short work. Very nice guy. Guy looks like a Cro-Magnon. I'm going to tell him that. But, dude, I'm going to tell you something, Bill. That's a compliment, because that's what people...
Was that the guy with the braided goatee?
Yeah. No. The braided goatee was... what's his name? That was Rowdy Akers.
Okay.
No. Dude. I'm going to tell you, Bill Diekoff is one of those guys, like I said, man, he just looks like a Cro-Magnon, man. He's just this big, hulking person walking around, imposing his will as he does. And yeah. I think he's going to be an awesome addition to BKFC moving forward. I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got for us. I do think he needs to trim up just a little in that. It looked like he was... carrying around a little extra weight maybe than what he's used to, but I don't know. I could be wrong, but it was a pleasure watching him fight. I hope that
he looked good though. I'm excited to see the heavyweight division grow, because we had So I'm excited, man. I'm excited for the heavyweight division to grow.
And then, oh my goodness, a debut that I have been waiting very patiently for 7 long months, and that has been the final and eventual BKFC debut of Mr. Dave the Caveman Rickles. Yeah. And oh my goodness, I thought that, Clifford Wright, this guy is made of fucking granite.
Yes, he was.
Jesus, he took a lot of onslaught, which I anticipated from Mr. Dave Rickles, but my God, and even Dave said this guy is made of granite. He hurt him, that's for sure, but he did not decimate him and floor him all the time. In fact, did he even get knocked down the entire fight?
No, he took that fight on like a week's notice. Because, usually Clifford, he fought at the first to the line card, and he fought at 155. He fought at 155. So he jumped up 20 pounds, which
to 175.
Rickles is a big 175er to begin with.
Dude, he'd be a big 185er.
So he's already fucking big, and then Clifford is coming, from 155, jumping up to fight him. Talk about talk about a challenge in front of you, man. Jesus Christ. Yeah, and the fact that he didn't go down not once, that's got to say something, man.
I know.
I mean, that's got to say something. You know, he did a great job. It's just Rickles was he's just too strong, man. He was just too powerful for him. I think like every chance he was kind of stopping Clifford from really getting the chance to set up anything. Clifford really just couldn't get going with anything. And I think
I see a potential champion. I absolutely see championship gold in his future of the 175 division.
You know, and I talked to him right after the fight. I did a Rothstein show, and he came on like right after the show was over. And, you know, I told him, dude, I'd love to see you go back down to 155, fight at your weight class. And you might be a fucking savage. Like you might be the new one competing for the 155 star. So I don't know, man.
I'm excited. I am excited to see Mr. Rickles toe the line once again. I think he's going to be a mainstay in BKFC moving forward. Yeah. Very, very excited. Then we move on to the co-main event, the boxer against the MMA fighter, with some heated words and a little physicality at the weigh-ins between Chancey Wilson and Nico Hernandez. Nico Hernandez, of course, a 2016 bronze medalist. The first ever boxing medalist in Kansas State history to ever bring home any kind of an Olympic medal. And I wasn't really surprised. I'd like to say that I would have been, but I wasn't. I was expecting good things from Nico. I was expecting Chancey to kind of stand there and smile, have a smile on his face and such as the onslaught went over. But I just think that the educated hands of Nico were just too much to deal with. And that's a very interesting weight class, 115 pounds, both of them coming in at about, I believe Chancey Wilson came in at about 115.4 and Nico came in right at 115 pounds. I don't ever remember Nico. I've announced a couple of his fights in boxing and I've never seen him come in heavy ever. The kid is dedicated.
No, you know what? It went kind of exactly, you know, of course, Nico with the technical prowess and Chancey, we knew the only chance that he really had, and he knew it. He talked about this in interviews leading up to the fight was,
oh, thank you, Wayne.
He had to make it dirty.
Out. I'm surprised you're cutting out before we hit our 60-minute time, but thank you very much for joining us.
He's on Aussie time. He's like, what is 18 hours ahead? I don't know. He's in the future. I don't know.
Hey. Roads, where we're going, we don't need
later, Wayne.
Roads. Thank you.
But, you know, Chance even talked about this leading up to the fight that I'm not going to outbox Nico. That's not going to happen.
No, right? He knew the reality of that.
Let's be realistic.
He said,
I'm going to make this fight dirty. I got to make it dirty. And that was the only chance he had. And he knew
he had to weather the storm and fight dirty.
And I mean, until the eventual weird end, he was doing okay in the third and fourth round. He wasn't doing bad.
But when you get a situation to where there's an unfortunate regurgitation, that's never a good sign.
No, you know what? And I would like to. I need to reach out to him because I hope he's okay. I hope there's
absolutely. Well, I'm going to tell you, he was joining us afterwards at Buffalo Wild Wings when we were after the show, and he seemed to be in fantastic spirits. So good. I think he's fine. I just think once again that maybe. I don't think he had a bug. I just think it was just one of those situations. Maybe he pushed himself a little bit too hard because I know that he did have a little bit of a struggle with his weight cut.
So, he normally fights at 125 at MMA. So
he may have had a struggle from that, and there may have just been some internal things happening that were beyond his control as far as recovery, which you and I both know happens all the time. And sometimes that can rear its ugly head even during the fight. It's unfortunate that it had to be stopped that way. I would have loved to have seen that fight finish.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. But it happened. But it happens. Now we move on to the reason that everybody was tuning in, the main event of the evening. I hate saying main event of the evening. I never say it anymore because we know it's evening. Why can't I just say main event? I don't need to say main event of the evening. I feel that that's just stating the obvious. I mean, it's obvious that's the main event. But do I need to tell everybody that's the main event of the evening? We know that.
I mean, do you really have to say it's the main event? Because most people know, because that's why they came.
That's not the point, though, Josh.
Right?
It's not the point. The point is that there are certain words that you can factor out. It's all about trimming it down the right way. Where is Scott? My good friend Scott, Howie, I think that he cut out.
Howie. Just don't even.
Oh, Howie, you've missed it. It's just been nothing but awesome talk back and forth between me and my very good friend Scott Burt. You know, a man who really has an understanding of shoe fashion. 100%.
Howie, 100%. Twilight Zone, Howie. Just
I don't know what he's talking about, Howie. It's nothing but good vibes here. He's the one. He's the one that's harshing our mellow. Peaceful. Exactly. Thank you, Howie. You understand. Well, the main event, the number one challenger at the time, Mr. Marcel Swift Stamps, taking on, of course, the BKFC World Heavyweight Champion and Police Gazette Diamond World Bare Knuckle Heavyweight Champion, Joey Executioner Beltran. I was very, very surprised. I was very surprised at this one because I'm going to be honest. I thought that I was going to see Marcel with a barrage of knockout power. And I knew that that's the direction that he was going because he was outstriking Joey. He wasn't hurting him, but he was outstriking him. And the way that the fight was going for the first 2 rounds, he was going to win.
Sure.
He was going to win.
Sure.
But then our very good friend, Mr. Joey Beltran, does what he does best. He smothers your ass.
Yep.
And that's what he does. He absolutely smothers your ass with just an onslaught of offense. Whether they're knockout shots or not, that's irrelevant. What's relevant is that he totally took Marcel off his game and completely and totally threw off his balance. He didn't know. I'm going to be honest. I'm not saying anything bad against Marcel, but what it looked like from my vantage point is just he just didn't know how to handle it.
Well, yeah, like I think the Joey broke his spirit when I've said this probably at least a dozen times since Saturday night that Marcel's a savage himself, man, and I think that at his weight class, which is he typically fights at like 185-ish. So
he stepped on at 216.1 this time.
Right. So like at his weight class,
and that's a light. I mean, it's not light heavyweight division. It's just a light heavyweight.
A lighter heavyweight. Yeah.
A lighter heavyweight. I mean, Joey was actually at his lighter than we've seen him in a while. Joey
stepped on 250 something, right?
253 even.
253. Yeah. But like Marcel in his weight class, those same shots that Joey absorbed and kept coming on like Terminator, those shots usually put people away in 185. And I think that even though his game plan was kind of working the first 3 rounds, just pop, move, pop, move, pop, move. Obviously it wasn't hurting Joey in the sense of he wasn't like in any type of threatening situation to be like knocked out or knocked down, anything like that. But in the judge's eyes, he was winning in points. Marcel was winning in points
for the first 2 rounds. That was obvious.
For the first 3 rounds, really, and even
no. I think around mid
towards the end of the 3rd round, because that's when that weird. He said that Joey hit him in the head with his knee, which was fucking weird.
That did not happen.
No, it didn't happen because we saw the replay.
We saw the replay on that. And it was funny. One of them was called a knockdown when there was a lot of slips.
Yeah,
there was a lot of there were a lot of slips in that fight, and I know that one of them was ruled a knockdown when it shouldn't have been ruled down a knockdown. It actually was a slip.
Yeah,
but he had problems. He just had problems because, as you saw, between rounds 1, 2, and halfway into round 3, he'd stick, and then when Joey would push forward, he'd absolutely run around, get on his bike, and come back up. But he could only do that for so long because you got to remember, we're fighting in a fucking phone booth here, people. There's only so many places that you're going to be able to run. You can circle right, you can circle left, you can do whatever you got to do to get out of the way of hard hits. But I'm sorry, that only works for so long.
Yeah.
And he got caught, which I knew he would. And then the barrage and just the unstoppable
body shots.
It's the body shots and the unstoppable barrage of the Executioner. And that's all she wrote, which we knew. I mean, once that pace started pushing the way it was only a matter of time, but it was 1 minute, 55 seconds, round number 4. He didn't answer the 10 count. And we have history in the making as we have our first heavyweight to successfully defend his respected world titles.
Yep. 100%. Yep.
I don't know if there are too many men in this world that are tougher than Joey Beltran. Jesus Christ, this guy it's tougher than a $2 steak, man. His
that's a strength, and me and you were talking before, and I think that you gotta kill him to knock him down. He understands what his strengths are, and he says it himself. He's like, look, I don't have that type of knockout power. Could he knock out somebody? Sure, he could, but
absolutely.
He's not known for that one-shot KO power, so that's just not
everybody is.
And not everybody is, and that's okay. But what he's known for, like you said, that pressure, that constant pressure, that barrage, that just unrelenting, you hit me in the face, I'm going to keep fucking stepping forward no matter how many times you hit me. That's his strength, right? He has that ability to like absorb damage. Like it just does not stop him.
No,
it doesn't. It's almost like
he absorbs it. He absorbs it.
And I've said this too, is that it's almost like Joey's weird because it's almost like as the fight goes on, he fucking gets stronger.
Well, there are only so many heavyweights. Like, I can think of one heavyweight off the top of my head that has that same strategy, and that's Cain Velasquez.
Sure. Yeah.
As you go into the championship rounds, it's almost like he gets better.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's what happens, because I think he said in the interview too, that there's almost like a switch that went off, and he was like, fuck, man, I'm down in points. Let me fucking
see what I do is I take my head and I turn it around, and it's like a switch that comes on. And
that's exactly what the fuck he did.
I feel like a different person.
When he came out of into the third round, you could tell something was different. And
everything was different. What are you talking about? Something. Everything was different.
He did what he does, and
Well, plus he knew he had to put on the pressure, because if the fight continued going at the pace that it was, he would have lost on points.
He would have lost. Yeah, he would have lost on
points. And he didn't want to lose on points. He knew that. But the funny thing is at the end of the fight, when the fight was over and he was having an interview with our good friend Brian Sosha.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to talk about Brian in a second, about something that was pretty comical on my end, and I already see a smile on your face. You probably know what I'm talking about. But at the conclusion of the fight, the post-fight interview, I kind of figured that there was unfinished business on Joey Beltran's plate, and that unfinished business comes in the form of AJ Adams.
Yes, sir.
Because he wants to put to bed this myth that AJ kicked his ass. Because there was the myth about it, and I'm sorry, the fight got stopped for cuts. That's not an indication of an ass kicking. It's a win.
Yeah, that is true.
It's a win, but it is not a right. I'm sorry. An ass kicking, in my opinion, involves kissing Candace.
Sure.
An ass kicking involves a referee either having to step in, a wave off somehow, somebody getting knocked down, or the referee just determining that someone cannot continue the fight. I do not think it was an ass kicking. I think it was an unfortunate stoppage to what would have been a good fight moving forward. But that's not what happened. So I definitely want to see that. But I know Dave also has designs on Mark Godbeer as well, who will be joining us very shortly. He found a way to get into the United States. He found a loophole. He had to do his quarantining in Dubai.
Yeah.
And he did his quarantining. So now he's going to be able to get into the States. And I'm supremely confident that probably Tyler Goodjohn will probably follow in suit to get him over here as well.
So that's interesting, right? Because Joey kind of calls out and wants to kind of get that that L back. I get that. Against AJ Adams, I get that. Godbeer was kind of taking some jabs at Shoemaker on social media as well,
saying that that's definitely he's saying if he's like, I understand I can't fight Beltran in November, that's fine, but if Shoemaker's healthy and up for it, let's go.
You know what, and I think, not that I think Godbeer needs a tune-up fight, but because I don't.
Well, an Ultimate Brit against an Ultimate American. That's always
right.
fun.
I mean, I think it's a good fight. Him and Shoemaker. I think that's a great entry point.
I think it's
BKFC.
I think it's a perfect entry point. I think it's perfect.
I get that they want to throw him right in the mix against Beltran.
I was so disappointed that he couldn't fight Josh Burns. I was really looking forward to them finally
Shoemaker,
having that fight get started, but it just didn't happen this time as well, because unfortunately our good friend Mr. Sam Shoemaker did test positive for COVID, so he decided to keep his to keep himself at home. We certainly hope that you're okay, Sam. We hope that this isn't going to hit you too hard and that you're going to be able to get back out there and training in no time. You're a warrior, and I'm sure it's not even going to raise your eyebrow, brother. So stay well, keep well. But speaking of AJ Adams, there was a very interesting interview that took place backstage that kind of confused our good friend, Mr. Brian Sosha. And it didn't react too well to Mr. AJ Adams. So I think that our first ever, unfortunately, unbeknownst to our good friend, Mr. Brian Sosha at the time, I think that he may have taken maybe taken some of those words he said to heart. And, I saw him kind of shaking in his boots right there in the presence of our first ever BKFC heavyweight champion. What do you think?
It was definitely
there was a tense moment, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, we are live here, Sean. Thank you for that. And I have the man himself. We call him the King of the Jungle, taking on the Young Lion tonight.
Excuse me. Give me the mic. Give me the mic. You gave an interview to Joey.
Is the sound coming through?
Right? Watch
He's trying to.
Okay. He tried to get it back.
Heavyweight champion.
He tried to get it back.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's exactly what you said. That's a fucking lie. You know it. So right here on this camera, I need you to apologize to me right now.
You got it. You got it. If I did say that, my apologies. It might have come out wrong. I apologize. Pure apologies.
Thank you.
If I did say that, I apologize.
Thank you.
Very
sorry.
sorry.
I wanted. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I apologize. Come on over, Joey. Come on over, Joey. Now we got that out of the way. Joey.
Oh, boy, did he try to snatch that mic. And I understand that. I've been in that same situation to where I've really gone for the mic when somebody was trying to snatch it from me. I've been there, so I understand how frustrating that is. Well, and he went after it. Dude, he went after it.
That's interviewer 101. Like, you're not supposed to grab the microphone from the interviewer. That's like like a sin, man.
But you know what? That's okay, because we all know that Mr. Brian Sosha is a former professional wrestler a long time ago, and he's one of those types that certainly understands that, in the heat of the moment, it's always a good idea to, kind of stop trying to take control and let the fighter take control for the sake of the interview. And that's exactly what he did. True professional on that. It was badass, man. I was watching that and I was just laughing my fat ass off the entire time. But I definitely hats off to Mr. Brian Sosha for
he handled it well.
Oh, dude, baptism under fire, as far as I'm concerned.
He was really quick. He was quick with it. He didn't.
He was.
He grabbed the microphone right back and said, "Hey, I'm sorry. Let's move on." And it was just. There was nothing. It was quick. I thought he did a great job.
And I also heard that we had thousands of new subscribers to the BKTV app. For those of you out there who haven't done it yet, there's only one place to go, and that's bktvapp.com. It's so easy to get this done. What?
Use promo code Combat Insiders
if you want to.
You'll get it for $3.99 instead of $5.99 a month. Just saying.
What ifs?
Why wouldn't you?
But I'll tell you what, man, a $9.99 startup fee, $3.99, $5.99 a month. I mean, seriously, that's as good as it gets for all the pay-per-views. And not only that, the entire library of BKFC
and toe the
events.
line. You get toe the line,
and you get toe
and
the
whatever
line.
else comes down the pike in the future. Because I've heard that there's more
vignettes
going to be added.
Vignettes, promos, even footage from the tryouts. Even footage from the tryouts we put on there, all the weigh-ins, everything, anything and everything that is either Toe the Line Fight Series or Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, you get on the BKTV app. So check it out, bktvapp.com.
Yep.
All right, now let's look to the future, as my shirt would say, with a DeLorean on one side and hoverboards wonderfully, absolutely. Oh, special shout out to the Roosevelts for this amazing fucking shirt. Probably some of the best throwback and vintage style shirts I absolutely love. You guys have been seeing them week after week after week. It's my absolute new obsession. The Roosevelts, check them out, man. They are going to be sponsoring me any day now because I know they're loving all the shout outs that I'm giving. And more importantly, I am loving the threads. Awesome stuff. But
when you get that info, just pass it by the business office, and we'll take a look at the contract for that. So
yeah, I think I'm gonna. I don't think I'm gonna do that.
Run it by the business office, and we'll take a look, and
yeah, man, I'll do that. All right, and next up is gonna be BKFC 14, man. This is going to be November. It was November the 14th, but it got pushed to November the 13th, and it's going to be
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. Yep. Yep. That's right. Somewhere in South Florida, the venue I think is going to be announced in the next couple of days. They're hinting several places. They're hinting Miami. They're hinting West Palm Beach. They're hinting Fort Lauderdale. There are several locations that this amazing card could hail from. But we actually have 2 championship fights on this one, and it is going to be fantastic. And I have been told that Paige Van Zandt will be in attendance on hand. Yeah. She'll definitely be putting her 2 cents into what she is seeing and what she is witnessing live on BKFC 14. That's always going to be fun. But our main event for the 155-pound World Championship, the current champion Luis Baboon Palomino taking on longtime friend, but now sworn bare knuckle enemy in the form of Jim the Bare Knuckle Beast Allers.
I cannot wait.
This is going to be. These are 2 silverback gorillas, basically
fireworks
running at each other head on. It is going to be ugly and it's going to be bloody. I do not fireworks. See. Yep, 100%. And then another exciting one: the 135-pound World Championship will be on the line. Dat Nguyen will be taking on the undefeated 5-0 BKFC 135-pound world champion, Brutal Johnny Bedford.
Yes, sir.
This has a lot of people interested because we all know that Brutal Johnny Bedford lives up to his name each and every time that he steps into the squared circle. But Dat Nguyen is one of these guys who is not only looking to take the bare knuckle world by storm, he wants to leave a lot of bodies lying on the floor as he does it.
Yeah.
A lot of bodies on the floor, man. He is looking for blood and pain, and I love it. And that's exactly what everybody wants to see. The rest of the fight card will be released over the next couple of weeks. Of course, let's give a shout out, of course, to this coming Friday, Toe the Line Fight Series number 2. It's going to be taking place in Plant City, Florida. Of course, you can watch that live on the BKTV app. My buddy Chris Rothstein will be ring announcing again over there in Plant City because, Plant City isn't too far away from his hometown of Tampa, Florida. So that's going to be another good card. And a lot of people are excited about the Toe the Line Fight Series because it gives them an opportunity to hone their craft, to hone their skills, and get a shot at BKFC.
Mike Kyle, UFC veteran against the Bobo Bane, and it's going to be the main event for that. So
yeah, I just found out that is the main event as of now. I did not know that had been changed. Unfortunately, did we find out what happened on that?
Yes.
Is it something that we want to talk about? No,
probably not on air.
All right, fair enough.
Jordan Nash versus Chris Levant. Mike Bissett versus Jason Fish. That'll be interesting. Mike Bissett is he's a BKFC vet. So, Bruce, you got to help me on this one. Lutch medial. I don't know what that means. I don't think I said that right. Lutch medial. Lutch metal. Lutch medial.
You can't
Lutch,
pronounce words shit, man.
Luch medial.
Let me see.
Well, then help me. Quit. Don't just.
Well, I'm trying to find where are you finding the lineup?
Where else? Right here. Look.
All right, let me see. Let me see.
Right here.
It looks like Lush Medial.
That's what I said. Luch medial.
Well, you said help me out, so I was helping you out. I don't care if you just said it. You asked for help.
Luch medial.
Yeah, Lush Medial. Yeah.
Versus Will Chope. Obviously, Will Chope, BKFC veteran as well. Martin Brown versus Juan Pena. I assume it's Pena, not Pena. Pena, right?
I would assume Pena. Yes, that's correct.
Zion Tomlinson Sr. versus Harrison Akins.
I love that first name, Harrison. Not just because of Harrison Ford. It's just a cool fucking first name.
Man, those guys over in Knucklepedia are really doing something. These look terrific.
Those guys. Again, a selfless plug.
Amazing.
I wouldn't call it amazing, but I would say impressive. Amazing makes someone's head grow to the size of a Mardi Gras float, and we certainly don't need that here on Loudmouth Fisticuffs, live from Loudmouth Central.
Look, speak of him and he shall appear.
Speak of him and he shall appear. Look at me.
What's up, Chris?
Yeah, look at me. I can say biblical shit.
Biblical shit.
Well, seek and ye shall find, ask and ye shall appear. That sounds very biblical to me, or at least old English.
Old English, yeah. Why not, man?
Yeah, why not?
Mr. Christopher James, we were just talking about Total Line, and you will be there in Plant City on Friday. Can't wait. Mike Kyle versus Bobo O'Bannon. I love his name, Bobo O'Bannon.
Bobo is a dangerous dude too.
Yes, he is.
Bobo has
Don't let the name fool you. Yeah. He is extremely dangerous.
This guy has got ridiculous power in those hands.
Do not let the name fool you.
Documented dangerous power. I'm not going to get into it specifically, but let's just say that this man has left a couple of bodies lying longer than they should.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. No, I'm excited. Hopefully, I'm looking for the rest of the card. Maybe Christopher James can help me out here. I need the rest of the card. I only have 7 fights so far.
Oh, I thought that you were talking about all the good people that were keeping everything updated on Knucklepedia.
Well, first off, we can't keep up if we don't have the info to begin with, sir.
Oh, you're telling me that you're not clairvoyant? That you cannot read minds?
Sir.
Yeah, you're damn right you call me sir.
Maybe you should ask your buddy.
I don't have to ask Scott anything. Scott is a true gentle soul, and it's his bedtime right now. I want to be respectful to the man and let him have a very comfortable good night's sleep. That's fine for that. But I like sir. You can call me like the sirloin, like the sirloin steak. It's the only steak that you have to call sir. Fuck yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
It makes all the sense if you're listening.
It's not the best steak. Ribeye is O'Bannon has been a sparring partner for the I knew that.
Obviously, that's a joke. The best steak is the ribeye.
All right.
Well, I mean, on an American, if you're talking about steaks overall, then I definitely have to say that Wagyu beef in Japan is definitely the best.
Yeah, but that's not a cut. That's
well, no, that's a specific style of beef. It's
right.
Not,
that's the way they fucking feed their cow and massage them and
they massage them. They massage them. They feed them high yeast beer.
Yeah.
Those cows live better lives than people do.
Yeah. I've never had it though. I've always wanted to try it.
Well, for $300 every 2 ounces, it's pretty fucking expensive. But the marbling, the texture, it's one of those things. If you've had good beef before, that's great. But the beef standards in Japan, Our beef standards are a joke in comparison. They are beyond a joke in comparison. You have Wagyu beef cooked the right way. Oh yeah, well, of course, Chris. The marbling absolutely makes the meat, but you eat this meat and it melts in your mouth, and that is not a euphemism. That is not a term of endearment. It literally melts in your fucking mouth. It's just unbelievable.
I almost don't know if I'd want to try it.
Oh,
maybe
yeah,
simply because think about it. You try that, right? And then a couple months later, you go to a Outback Steakhouse and try a old shitty ribeye, and then you're like,
oh, stop it. So you have to go back to the way that certain things are done? Because I'll tell you what, Mr. Joshua Furs, every now and then when I am flying to some of my overseas clients, sometimes I'm bumped up to business class or first class, and I'm enjoying the fuck out of that flight. But just because I do that doesn't mean that I can't handle coach, because I'm flying coach more than anything, or economy and such. So just because you get a taste of the good life doesn't mean it's going to ruin what you eat, every single day. I mean, but what it does is that it helps define a palate. You can always go back to the way that steak is, but you know what you end up doing? You end up actually becoming a little bit more of a connoisseur with the steak that you can afford and doing better things to it. Yes. Ooh.
I am a steak connoisseur.
There you go. So stop thinking that, having a taste of the good life fucks it up for everything else, because it doesn't.
I know how to cook a good steak now.
Oh, I got you beat. I'm a fucking Texan. You can't touch me.
I don't know about that.
Are you kidding?
I worked in steakhouses for like 10, 15 years, my man.
Grilling has been in my blood since I was born. Are you kidding? I was born from a very amazing grill master in my father, and my grandfather was a grill master on top of that, and all of that wonderful grilling information was passed on to me. And I'll tell you, I make a mouth-watering, come on your fucking face ribeye.
I don't believe I've ever had that kind of a ribeye, Joe.
Exactly. That's why I'm that good of a grill master. Exactly.
I don't believe I've ever had it. No.
And you probably never will, because I am a legend.
Now, do you cook the whole thing on the grill, or do you like mark them and then maybe like finish them in the oven? How do you do it?
Well, it depends. It depends on how I'm cooking it. If I do it on the grill, if I do it on the grill, then what I do is I heat up the grill to about 520 degrees so that I can get a good sear. And then after that, right, I take it. I take it off the heat. Take the heat down to about 325 degrees. So therefore, and then leave it in there and make sure that the center is cooked to about 145. I usually like to keep it between 140 and 150 degrees, because 140 degrees is perfect temperature for is perfect center temperature for medium rare, which is my cut. So I usually have it at about 140 degrees. So I go, like I said, 500 for a sear. So I get a great sear and I get great griddle marks all over. It looks good. Fucking Burger King griddle marks. And then, like I said, take it down to about 325, cook the rest of it, make it look beautiful. No, I like filet mignon on a cast iron skillet too. I love cast iron skillets. In fact, that's what I do when I'm not cooking on the grill. I use a cast iron skillet for my steaks. Now, if I'm cooking them on the stove, cast iron skillet on the stove, finish them up on the inside of the oven. No,
that's a good. I like cast iron.
No, me too, because it heats up faster. It heats up faster and it stays hot faster. It stays hot longer because the heat is retained within the cast iron. Stays hot longer. Stays hot a hell of a lot longer. No, I definitely agree with you on that one, my man, Christopher. That is definitely the better way to do it if you're cooking it on the oven. Yep. So don't tell me that I am not grill master. Fuck you, man. I fucking grill rattlesnake on my grill. I do rattlesnake fillets.
I don't always skillet the oven, Scott. I depends on what it is, but like for the most part, I like to do the whole thing in the pan. I like to cook the whole thing in the pan.
I just think you get on if you do everything in the pan. I just think it just comes out uneven. There are just certain parts, there are certain parts that don't get cooked, all the way through, and you get uneven cooking. You get well done on the ends and, redder than red in the middle.
Depends. It depends. That's not completely.
Well, the easiest way to do it then, if you're going to go ahead, if you want to cook it completely on the pan, then you cover it. And you let and you go ahead and you let it cook within the cover. So therefore,
you could do that. I've done that before too. Yeah, you could do that.
If you want to cook it all the way through, that's a better way to do it if you want to just do it on the pan.
Right.
But you can usually cook it pretty evenly if you use a cast iron skillet as opposed to a regular, frying pan.
I like the Gordon Ramsay. One of his methods is you take it like I do. I usually cook my steaks in like a olive oil butter mixture.
Me too. I do.
A little bit of garlic.
Always do butter.
And what I do is like towards the end, I spoon the butter as it's cooking. Spoon it right over it, like while it's still hot, and spoon it and like over the top as it's cooking, and it kind of helps. It'll help cook the top a little bit more too. I saw that. What was that? 1.5 quarters ribeye, 500 degrees, 2.5 minutes on each side, medium rare. That sounds good.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Maybe medium. I'll do medium rare, but
I just said that. I just said that, Howie. I just said that. That's my method. That's definitely my method when I'm doing it on the grill. What I eventually want is I want to get rid of my oven. Well, I don't want to get rid of my oven. I still want to have my oven. I want to get a hibachi cooktop. I'd like to get a hibachi cooktop because I definitely believe if you're cooking any kind of steak, you get a better cook all the way through on a nice flat hibachi style. Because that way you don't have to worry. You do hibachi style most of the time. You don't have to worry about frying pans. You don't have to worry about any of that. Cooks just right there on the table. And honestly, they're really easy to clean. On top of that, the hibachi style cooktops, they're really easy to clean. Well, plus also think about it like this. If you have a hibachi style, you don't necessarily have to worry 100% about, basting and such. You can actually put a lot of the stuff on the cooking surface. You can actually, you can spread the melted butter on top of the cooking surface. You can put all that on there. And as you flip it, as you cook it, it'll go ahead and cook right in.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's all kinds of ways that you can do it, but in the end, I'd prefer to have the hibachi style top because it's the faster way and it's also fun. It's fun to cook on a hibachi style top. If you've been to Benihana's and all kinds of teppanyaki style restaurants over the years, and you see all the teppanyaki hibachi chefs, they just have so much fun, with the aerial show that they put on for you when they're making your food.
You want to see Volcano?
Hey, that made Michael Scott feel better after a very devastating breakup. They showed him the onion volcano on an episode of The Office, and he was very, very happy. But what was funny about that particular one is that he thought that it was, everybody can eat from everybody's tray. So he kept going to people that were sitting there and eating their stuff. Sir, that's not how it works. Yes, it is. Give me some steak. Yeah. Oh, that's good stuff. We need more shows like that. Those are the shows that stand the test of time, in my opinion.
I just got through. I caught up with The Boys. I don't know.
I haven't seen that one yet. Is that where is that on? Is that Amazon?
That's on Amazon. So the easiest way I tell people is if Quentin Tarantino got a hold of a superhero movie, this is what it would be. It's gory, it's bloody, it's amazing.
Gory and bloody. You have my attention. I like that.
And it, like I said, and it's like a superhero movie. Show. I'm sorry, not movie. It's really good. It's worth it.
I will check that out.
Yeah,
I will definitely check that out. I am intrigued.
Cobra Kai. Yeah.
I loved it so much, and I'm hearing so many rumors about season 3, about so many people that are returning. I've already heard that Mike Barnes is going to come back, Terry Silver,
Well, did they confirm Mike Barnes? Because I know that they interviewed the actor and he said that they had contacted him.
I don't know if they've confirmed it. I think it's still around the rumor mill, or maybe they just have yet to announce it.
Well, I know. So I know. Miko, the girl from
Kumiko.
Okay.
Yeah, she's coming.
Kumiko, she's gonna come back, and
she's
then
confirmed.
like the boyfriend, like her or the guy that was trying to get her too.
No, he wasn't trying to get her. I mean, he was just fucking around with her. You mean Chosen?
Yeah. Right. He's gonna be in this.
All of a sudden, these guys decide to come back together, and it just rekindles everybody's past loves and past aggression, past enemies and such.
It'll be good.
It'd be funny if Hilary Swank found her way in there. She was the next Karate
Kid.
What?
No, you know what? And I thought about that too because technically, I mean, she was. Because he talked about Daniel in
all
the
the
movie.
time. He did.
So
he made mention. Yep.
You could argue that was part of the canon.
Sato's nephew and Sato's best student. That's right. Chosen Toguchi. Yeah.
I think to not have her at least.
The funny thing about we're talking about that, and we're talking about the movies. It was so insane to me how afraid Daniel's character was of Mike Barnes in the third fight. Chosen was trying to fucking kill him.
Yeah.
Chosen was trying to fucking kill him. Mike wasn't trying to fucking kill him. Mike was just fucking around with him.
Right.
Mike wouldn't have let them fall when they were, coming back up the rappel ropes. He wouldn't have let them fucking fall. No, he wouldn't have done that. But Chosen fucking wanted to fight him.
Literally trying to kill him. Yeah.
Was literally trying to kill him. And I said, dude, if you've taken out somebody who tried to motherfucking kill you, then everything else is just meat and potatoes easy. Come on now. And I don't get that as such. Yeah, the big fight in the season 2. Oh my God, Chris, talk about the greatest high school choreographed fight
that was
ever.
Really good.
Ever.
Yep.
Ever. Jesus Christ, that thing did not end. It just kept going and going and going. It's just like
it was like half the episode.
But you know why Barnes was scary, Chris, is because he was trying to make money. He didn't have an agenda. He didn't give a fuck about being the All Valley champion.
Right.
He was doing bigger things than that shit. He didn't care about being some, regional fucking champion. He didn't give two shits. He was above that. He was better than that.
Do you know what? It'll be interesting to see Johnny and Barnes like in the same, like see how they interact with each other.
Now there was even on YouTube, there was a comparison on who would have taken who out in their prime. Now, the way that I see it, as far as who would have taken who out against, Johnny and Mike Barnes would have owned Johnny one-on-one. 100%. I think he would definitely have the high ground one-on-one. But Johnny was part of Cobra Kai. Johnny would have owned fucking Mike Barnes in a street fight because Cobra Kai would have had his
any means necessary.
Any means necessary. Yeah. They would have had his fucking back. Fucking A. Absolutely. But one-on-one on the mat, I think Barnes would have taken out Johnny. I definitely think so.
I'm excited, man.
Oh, I am too.
Apparently they're already doing they're already talking about 4 because they filmed season 3 like a year and a half ago.
This is going somewhere because the reason that I think everybody's digging it is because it's the new era of Cobra Kai, but the storylines and the way that it's being told is exactly like the movies.
Exactly.
It's like a mirror of the movies. Yep. When you make it familiar to those who follow the movies, it's that much better. When it goes far off topic and it doesn't really relate to what we remember from Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3, then it's almost like, perfect example. It's like when Netflix did the Dark Crystal of Age of Resistance.
Oh,
what a disappointment that was, because they went so far off the story from what people remember from the Dark Crystal. So that's why it didn't do as well. It really didn't do. There was way too much added to the story. The beautiful thing about Cobra Kai was its simplicity.
Yeah.
It really was simple, and it was really the storyline beautifully intertwined with the movies, with the movie.
Yeah, I mean, like, think about it. That formula, like you said, the same formula they use for those movies. They tweak some things for today's time, but
Which they had to,
but like the same formula though is there. It's the same formula they used back.
100%. 100%.
It fucking works. Imagine that.
It was sad, but you know something? I'm going to tell you. I know it was sad that homeboy died, but I mean, trust me, he wanted to die out there and not in the hospital. That's why he was trying to get the fuck out of there, man, because he did not.
And then he really died, which was even crazier.
And then he really died, which, yeah, exactly. And, following around, hold on one second. Sorry about that. But no, seriously, man, awesome stuff. And I was so happy that the Cobra Kai won the All Valley tournament. I was saying, if you give that to Daniel Student, people are gonna fucking riot. People are gonna fucking riot, man. This was Cobra Kai's moment, and they got their moment, which was good. And it was like, no matter how good Daniel's teaching was with Miyagi-Do Dojo, they didn't have the showmanship.
Right.
They didn't have the showmanship of Cobra Kai, and I think that's where he was out of touch. Even though that you're teaching these people for free, the showmanship is what fucking sells. And that's what Cobra Kai.
The dinner scene was good. That was a good scene.
Oh yeah.
And when the girlfriend, the wives made them push the tables together and shit. Yep. That was really good.
And they started getting along.
Yeah.
They started getting along because they realized, hey, we're still two fucking dudes. We may have not had the best fucking high school time together, but guess what? We could actually have things in common. And then it all got fucked up by the kids. Everything was going good. The kids fuck it up, and homeboy is probably going to be paralyzed from the waist down. Homeboy is going to be probably paralyzed from the waist down because that was not a good landing. I guarantee paralysis in that one. I'm amazed he's not dead.
Well, that's so that's part of the angle of how people think Allie is going to make her appearance, because Allie in the storyline, she's a pediatrician.
Exactly.
So
we're going to see Elizabeth Shue. Hopefully she's not too beat up. Hopefully it's not the situation to where we see Carrie Fisher for the first time after so many years, and it's like somebody got beaten with. No, even though
Elizabeth I was gonna say Elizabeth Shue. She was in The Boys too. She was.
Does she look okay?
Yeah.
She just looks a little older. That's all. I mean,
just older. She took care of herself. Just older.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good to know.
It'll be interesting to see all those people come back, man. I'm excited for it. I can't wait.
Me too. All right, Josh. Well, I think that this is a good time to go ahead and call it quits this time, because I am having too much fun, and I shouldn't be having too much fun. I know I am the one calling the stop to this one. Can you believe it? It's unbelievable, folks. I know. You're getting goosebumples, and I don't blame you. But I think that we have covered all of our angles tonight. I think this was a fantastic show. I definitely want to give a big shout out to Mr. Scott Burt, and of course our wonderful sponsor, Bare Knuckle Boxing Hall of Fame. Big shout out to you guys from the wonderful spot. Oh, come on, come back. I can't believe he did that, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness, he was just so. You got to make a believer out of some people. So hopefully he will come back with us and join us on the outro. But I don't think it's going to happen, so I guess I'm going to have to close out the show to you. Guys, definitely check out Loudmouth Fisticuffs at the official Facebook page and like what we're doing, because
don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to everything we're doing. And we appreciate you so much. We thank you so much for tuning in.
See, he's just trying to close out the show because,
that's Mr. Live Worldwide, Jeff Houston.
No, don't listen
to Joshua Furs. You listen to Loudmouth Fisticuffs.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Suck my balls, Josh.